A wave of terror has swept through the quiet village of Mondag in Adamawa State, Nigeria, where 11 people were brutally taken out and a building was set ablaze by terrorists from the Islamic State West Africa province known as ISWAP. This attack wasn't random. It was calculated revenge, a direct response to American military strikes that hit jihadist camps in Sokoto State on Christmas Day, December 25, 2024. The United States, with full cooperation from the Nigerian government, launched cruise missiles that devastated terrorist positions, inflicting what sources describe as heavy casualties on the militants. But just 2 days later, on December 27th, the terrorists struck back, not against military targets, but against innocent villagers who had nothing to do with the airstrikes. This is the pattern we've seen time and time again. When these extremist groups suffer military losses, they don't regroup to fight soldiers. Instead, they turn their guns on defenseless civilians, women, and families just trying to live their lives in peace. The attack on Mondag was swift and merciless. Eyewitnesses and security sources report that ISWAP gunmen stormed the village armed with automatic weapons, opening fire indiscriminately. They burned down homes and sent terrified residents fleeing into the surrounding bush for safety. The militants didn't just want to take out people, they wanted to send a message. And they made sure that message was loud and clear by claiming responsibility through their propaganda channels, boasting that this massacre was their answer to America's intervention. 11 lives were snuffed out, 11 families destroyed, and an entire community left traumatized, all because these terrorists wanted to prove they could still inflict pain even after being dealt a crushing blow by superior military force. Now, this raises serious questions about the cost of international military intervention in Nigeria's ongoing security crisis. The American strikes in Sokoto were meant to weaken ISWAP and other jihadist groups operating in the region, and by all accounts, they succeeded in destroying camps and eliminating fighters. But the retaliation in Adamawa shows us the brutal reality that when you strike at these groups, they often respond by targeting the most vulnerable. This doesn't mean military action is wrong. It means we need a comprehensive strategy that not only degrades terrorist capabilities, but also protects the civilians who live in areas where these groups operate. The people of northeastern Nigeria have been living through what many human rights observers are calling a slow-motion genocide. For more than a decade, thousands have been killed, displaced, and traumatized by Boko Haram, ISWAP, and other extremist factions. Churches, mosques, schools, and entire villages have been wiped off the map. Yet, the international community's attention remains frustratingly inconsistent. If you're finding this coverage informative and you want to stay updated on what's really happening in Nigeria and across Africa, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Your support helps us continue bringing you these important stories that mainstream media often overlooks. The Mondag massacre is particularly significant because it demonstrates how interconnected global counter-terrorism efforts have become. When President Donald Trump authorized those Christmas Day strikes, he was acting on intelligence about terrorist strongholds in northern Nigeria. The operation was designed to disrupt ISWAP's command structure and destroy their operational capacity in Sokoto. Nigerian authorities cooperated fully, providing intelligence and logistical support. On paper, it was a successful mission, but success in counterterrorism cannot be measured solely by the number of militants killed or camps destroyed. It must also account for the safety and well-being of the civilian population. The fact that ISWAP was able to regroup quickly enough to launch a revenge attack just 48 hours later tells us that despite the military gains, the broader security architecture in the region still has serious gaps. What makes this tragedy even more painful is the predictability of it all. This is exactly how these terrorist organizations operate. They thrive on a cycle of violence. When they suffer losses, they retaliate against soft targets to maintain their reputation for brutality and to discourage further military action against them. They want governments and international forces to think twice before launching strikes, knowing that innocent people will pay the price. It's psychological warfare designed to create fear and hesitation. But giving in to that fear would mean allowing these groups to operate with impunity, which is equally unacceptable. The challenge for Nigerian security forces and their international partners is finding ways to strike at terrorists while simultaneously protecting vulnerable communities from retaliatory attacks. The people of Adamawa State and other northeastern regions have been incredibly resilient in the face of this ongoing terror campaign, but resilience has its limits. Families are exhausted from constantly living in fear, from burying loved ones, from rebuilding homes only to see them burn down again. The psychological toll on these communities is immeasurable. Economic activities have ground to a halt in many areas because farmers are too afraid to go to their field and traders can't transport goods safely. The social fabric of entire communities is being torn apart. And while the Nigerian military and security agencies are working hard to combat these threats, they are often stretched thin, under-resourced, and dealing with multiple security challenges across different regions.